following is a presentation of HBO Sports.
All right, upcoming, Leshanolo Ledwaba will be taking on Manny Pacquiao. And for more on that, let's go back downstairs to Jem Lampley. Jem?
All right, tail of the tape for Leshanolo Ledwaba against Manny Pacquiao. I'll get it right, Pacquiao.
In all great boxing tales, there's always one bout that changes the course of the story forever. A performance that ensures they'll learn the name and never forget the fighter.
Pacquiao. Say Pacquiao. Pacquiao.
June 23rd, 2001. It's my first time in America, so absolutely I'm an underdog.
He took this fight on only 2 weeks' notice, only came here to America 10 days ago. That's a TKO victory for the very impressive Manny Pacquiao.
I had never seen him, and frankly, I'd never heard of him, but I've seen and heard of him now.
After that fight, it changed a lot.
A superstar emerges, Filipino star Manny Pacquiao annihilates the great Marco Antonio Barrera. Manny Pacquiao has beaten Oscar De La Hoya. The most spectacular one-punch shot of Manny Pacquiao's incredible career.
It's now been more than 13 years since Manny Pacquiao began his ascent to legend, making it easy to forget how he started. But that's precisely what makes his next fight so compelling. Because it comes against an opponent just as hungry and just as unheralded as Pacquiao once was.
I'm relatively unknown on the world stage compared to like a Manny Pacquiao, but this could be the start of my era.
This time, the unfamiliar name is Chris Algieri, the next fighter headed to a far-off land in pursuit of a performance that could change his life forever.
Come on, fast, go.
This is the story of a decorated champion and a new challenger, a global icon and an ambitious hopeful. As they prepare to come together, the contrasts are stark, but the connection undeniable. For they both know that in boxing, one bout can change the course of a story forever. This is 24/7 Pacquiao Algieri. In the years since he burst on the boxing scene, Manny Pacquiao's life has been transformed in too many ways to count. Bureaucratic mix-up that put hundreds of scholarships in jeopardy. The solution was simple: cover the shortfall himself. He arrives at his destination on San Miguel Street downtown shortly after 2 p.m. The Pac-Man Wildcard Gym.
This place has always been full. I hear everything he does. I get reports. I don't follow him around and so forth because he still knows what he does best.
And this afternoon, he resumes what he does best with a familiar edge. and a pace that manages to make the bustle of the day's earlier activities seem all but pedestrian.
I'm really, really happy the way Manny's looking right now. His fire's coming back, his explosions come back, his speed and his power. I'm really pleased with it. Come on, fast. Power? Sure? Yeah.
As the day concludes in General Santos, Pacquiao and his family are joined on the basketball court at his home by more than 100 friends and associates for a prayer service.
Many people surround us all the time. There's so many activities also. So that's money.
The Pacquiao nuclear clan also seems to be forever expanding, with the latest addition a fifth child, 6-month-old Israel.
No, he never complains. I told him that you do so much things, he can't even rest. But he likes that so many people around him. He wants to share also what he has.
Another brief pause for rest soon awaits, and then tomorrow it all begins anew. Across the world from General Santos, 40 miles east of New York City, sits the tiny hamlet of Green Lawn, Long Island. Here you'll find white wooden fences and quiet streets among the classic suburban hallmarks, making this indeed one of the last places you'd expect Manny Pacquiao's next opponent to live. But in an apartment in his parents' basement, 30-year-old Chris Algieri is perhaps a natural fit to be living the life of an underdog.
I used to be in another part of the basement, but this side over here, it's probably been about 3 years now, 2-3 years. But I never had a TV until like 6 months ago. I just was like, I don't need a TV. I'm just all I do here is sleep. This is my first, boxing match outside of New York State, and we're going all the way to China, going halfway around the world. They asked me if I wanted to fight in China. I said, sure. It's going to be me and Manny in a ring, right? Sure, okay. Doesn't matter where the ring is. It's a boxing match.
It will be an unusual challenge for an unusual member of the boxing fraternity. He's a pugilist with a master's in clinical nutrition.
It's same thing I eat every day, pretty much. Some variation of eggs and toast. I'm a big fan of avocado. Eat a lot of avocado.
And he's also a man who has no problem sharing quarters with familiar company.
Comes the original. What's up, Pop? This is the house that I grew up in. My father built this house, and I've been here for 30 years. We got Mom and Dad. They're on one side of the house. Got my brother, his wife, his 3 sons on the other side of the house. Myself in the basement apartment. That's the big man, Rocco. That's the newest addition to Team Algieri. So we got a full boat.
If most boxers turn to the sport as an escape from their environment, Algieri discovered a love of fighting amid only nurturing surroundings. After graduating high school, he enrolled at nearby Stony Brook University and began a career as a professional kickboxer on the side.
When you're taking physics and anatomy and calculus courses, and then you got to go to the gym and train and fight on the weekends, it was definitely taxing mentally and physically. I was a world champion in 2 weight classes. I had fought everybody around my weight classes from all over the world. I had accomplished all the goals I had set out in kickboxing and started my boxing career. Wanted to look for bigger paydays and bigger fame and another world title.
But finding boxing success proved to be an elusive proposition, as for 6 years, Algieri fought only on small cards close to his hometown.
Hey, how are you?
It was extremely, extremely frustrating. I felt that I wanted to be on bigger stages, fighting in different cards, fighting on TV. I wanted national exposure. I really wanted people to be able to see what I brought to the table.
Opportunity finally came in Brooklyn this past June, when Algieri was the underdog fighting against 140-pound title holder Ruslan Provodnikov.
Leading up to Provodnikov fight, I was going to get decapitated. So that's what Twitter said.
I was the sacrificial lamb and get destroyed. It is what it is. I understood that. People didn't know who I was. People didn't know what I did or what I could do.
But in the first round, it appeared he wouldn't get a chance to show them.
Down goes Algieri on a Ruslan Provodnikov left hook. And Algieri's right eye appears to be damaged by the shot.
I didn't know what was going on. You know, my lip was numb. My eye was closing fast. It was really blurry at first, you know. I really had to kind of gather myself and figure out what was going on.
I don't believe his right eye has recovered yet from the left hook. Second knockdown. And this could be quick.
Okay. You know, this guy is as dangerous as they say. I really got to stick to it. And I got up and I went right back to the game plan.
Deep breath, Chris. Deep breath. I know. It's your back eye. You got the lead eye, baby. You got the lead eye. Don't worry about that.
Algieri's more accurate as the fight progresses.
And how about this kid getting beaten up like that in the first round by a heavy favorite and coming back and boxing the way he has so far?
No shortage of heart from Algieri right now.
To the winner by split decision and no! Undefeated WBO light welterweight champion of the world,
What did you just show the boxing world?
I showed the boxing world who Chris Algieri is.
While Algieri's rousing introduction may have invigorated his career, he has a ways to go to catch up to his opponent, whose unparalleled fame in his home country earns him some remarkable opportunities. On this day, the fighter is traveling to Manila for a new and perhaps unlikely side gig as the head coach of a professional basketball team, the Kia Sorrentos. He was hired this past summer, and then, perhaps not coincidentally, the club also drafted him as a player, which means this off day from the gym will also be his official Philippine Basketball Association debut.
You know, I'm going to let him play. I mean, I'm not going to babysit him. I'm his boxing coach, and I hope dearly that he doesn't get hurt. It is a very, very competitive league. It's something Manny, the highest level he's ever played by far. Does he belong there? No, but the thing is, he's so popular.
Popular enough for this debut to be held at the brand new Philippine Arena. More than 52,000 fans will be in attendance, along with opposing players clearly thrilled to have their own matchup with the champ.
Basketball, it's a big challenge for me. Some people are criticizing because I'm a boxer, but I want to prove them that I can do both boxing and basketball.
Having him be here is just an inspiration in itself, you know, like whatever he tells you, you better listen because he's proof, you know what I mean? Whatever he says is gold.
He said, Freddie, I'm going to play for like 1 minute in the game, and then I'm going to coach the rest. Can he stay out for just 1 minute? I'm not sure.
Of course, I'm expecting a hard game because this is a professional basketball. But, you know, I know how to handle it. I know how to play.
To the crowd's delight, he inserts himself in the starting lineup at point guard and plays the game's first 7 minutes. The statistics, however, are less than impressive. No points and a pair of turnovers. Once he joins his coaching staff on the sidelines, however, things take a turn upward as the Sorrentos recover from a 9-point halftime deficit to earn a victory, with the approval of their leader and the thousands in attendance.
Panalo kami. Maraming salamat sa lahat ng mga fans na narito ngayon. Libo-libong fans narito. Salamat.
Meron ito sa magiging performance mo sa Macau?
Masaya ako dahil nanalo kami ngayon. Ganado na rin.
Victory, it seems, is rewarding no matter the endeavor. While boxing is the only sport Chris Algieri currently chooses to compete in, he does enjoy plenty of others as a spectator. And at this fall's homecoming for the Stony Brook University Seawolves, Algieri's alma mater honored him in front of a capacity crowd.
They made it a big deal. It was a homecoming celebration that they turned into Chris Algieri Day. It was a very surreal experience to go back to my school and be honored by, I think there was 11,000 people in the arena that day. It was incredible. All right, Stony Brook, what's a Seawolf? And what's your profession?
Good mojo, you're bringing good vibes.
It's energy. It's all about energy.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's good energy. You know, it's a real pleasure to be here. My time here as a student really helped forge my future, and I wanted to present a gift to Stony Brook University, which means so much to me. Wow. This is literally an exact replica of my championship belt. Also, on top of presenting the belt tonight, I wanted to actually begin a scholarship starting in the fall semester of 2015 for the students of Stony Brook University, the Chris Algieri Champion Lifestyle Scholarship.
Wow.
Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you.
Awesome.
Being a champion has presented some new opportunities, but not everything needs to change overnight.
The the money from the Provatnikov fight was 10 times more than I'd ever made in any fight before. I didn't really get to spend it on anything fun, to tell you the truth. I still have the same car that I had, before the Provatnikov fight. I drive a Honda Accord. It's got almost 200,000 miles on it. I like my Honda.
The Honda still gets him to strength and conditioning workouts several times a week as he trains for the November 22nd bout, with a regimen designed specifically to mirror his movements inside the ring.
And we're changing angles like a fighter. They're always changing planes when they're moving, so we change angles in our systems when we work out. So we come from a high to a low to a high. We come over to a cable. We keep mid-range. So working all different planes of movement, which is important for boxing. Right? He's always changing, he's always moving, so we want to mimic that.
Bunches and bunches, punches is thrown into your frontless. Oodles and noodles, bang bullets at suckers noodles. Left album voodoo, prove that we was fucking brutal. I'm talking crazy, half past the clock is cuckoo.
The workout is marked by its high intensity and non-stop pace.
Come on, turn it up. Drive.
Hardly the portrait of a combatant satisfied with his ascent.
He's up actually 5 pounds of muscle. His body fat's the same. So we did a great camp. So when you translate with that power and hitting, it should really come through.
He will be fighting in an agreed-upon catch weight of 144 pounds, which is the lowest weight his opponent has fought at in 3 years. And in the spirit of dropping mass back in the Philippines, Pacquiao is sponsoring an elaborate weight loss challenge for more than 200 associates and employees. Tonight is temptation night in the challenge, with an enticing spread laid out to test the contestants' commitment to the task at hand. If anyone participating takes even just one bite, they'll be disqualified.
Surrender ka! Malutong yung balat ba? Ay, sarap. Alak ka. Lamiya ka yan. Malutong pa. Crispy na crispy.
The stakes are considerable. The winner will get $10,000 and an automatic 50,000 pesos, roughly $1,100, will go to anyone who loses 10% of their body weight.
A workout, a diet, so congratulations.
While some give in, the majority of participants elect to continue the challenge. And the next day at the gym, Pacquiao's focus returns to the contest in front of him.
I'm taking him seriously. I'm not taking light. I'm not underestimating him. I have that experience before when I'm taking light, and then I lost the fight, so.
In June of 2012, Pacquiao was heavily favored in a matchup with Timothy Bradley, and according to most observers, won the bout. But the judges awarded Bradley the victory. And this past April, the fighters met in Las Vegas for a rematch.
I didn't think it was that tough a fight the first time, and I didn't think it was that tough a fight the second time.
Bradley cornered, ducking away. Pacquiao throwing all the punches.
I was prepared for that fight. I know what his style, so it didn't hurt me.
I thought Manny handled him like he will our next opponent, because I don't think that Algieri is even in that class.
Firm confidence, however, does not preclude the forming of a distinct game plan, based on the opponent's size, as well as his preferences and tendencies in the ring.
We really like fighting tall guys because falling in the pocket is easy for us. His height doesn't bother me so much, but his movement does, because he runs a lot. He says he boxes, but he does. He runs. He runs away. He doesn't want to engage and so forth, and we will chase him down. We will catch him. We'll set traps for him. He's in way over his head. I mean, he's a tough kid. I will give him that. But the thing is, tough kids don't win big fights.
Back across the world, preparations for November 22nd have taken Chris Algieri from Long Island to Las Vegas and the Venetian and Palazzo resorts. With the fight being held at the Venetian Hotel and Casino in Macau, China, the sister property stateside is accommodating him on the Strip. And among the courtesies being extended to the special guest is exclusive use of the hotel kitchen, where health code regulations are just one of many differences from home.
Not a bad little setup we got. Cooking is a big part of my training camp, so that was one of the requirements I needed, and they obliged, and they gave us everything we need. I'm not used to having so much space. This thing toasts so fast, I burn at least 3 pieces of toast a day. Yeah, we need to get one of those bells. Ding! Order up.
Algieri has come to Las Vegas to train for previous fights as well, though this is the first time he's been set up with a private gym for his workouts.
Going to Las Vegas is kind of like a haven for me at this point. I can stay in the hotel and relax and take my elevator right down to my gym and do my work and go back up and lay in my bed. I can really focus 100% on boxing. It's training camp and it's tough and it's hard, and I miss my family and I miss New York, but for what I need to do right now, this is exactly where I need to be.
His New York-based co-trainer Keith Trimble remained back home, meaning his other co-trainer, the Las Vegas-based Tim Lane, has taken the lead here, running the camp from the makeshift gym erected in what used to be a Mexican restaurant.
That's it, baby. Go look at the bottom. Here he comes. Let's go. Back on the ball. Back on the ball. Yep, I like that when you slip out. Beautiful.
It doesn't really matter where we are. You know, the main focus is, as long as we have a ring, got some heavy bags, everything else is all good.
Yes, yes. Good, that's it.
Tim Lane, I met as a sparring partner. He was a professional kickboxer. He was actually a world champion kickboxer. Tim just has a great eye.
Master boxer here. Yeah. Master boxer means you're thinking at all times, you know exactly where you are, and that you're a master of what you do.
This isn't fighting. This isn't rock'em sock'em robots. This isn't a bar fight. This is boxing. Be a master boxer. That's the ultimate goal every day, every session, every fight.
The Pacquiao fight is indisputably Algieri's biggest professional opportunity, but he insists he hasn't been overwhelmed.
Everything involved with this fight is just a whole different level than I'm accustomed to. But at the same time, this is how I've treated my fights for so long. This is how I've seen it in my mind, you know, for so many years that we're here and it's time to go to work.
A long training day ends with a 12-minute ice bath. The physical objective is to reduce swelling, but for Algieri, it's just as much a chance to visualize the future.
The mind is stronger than the body. You know, so you really got to get your mind in the right place to be able to perform at these levels. What separates the, you know, the guys from the top of the sport? It's right here, man.
In all great boxing tales, there are characters whose unvarnished ambition demands your attention. Whether their goals are already achieved or still just taking shape.
Good, nice and short.
And in the case of this iconic favorite, and most unlikely long shot, their ambition at present is shaped by a shared and uncommon reality. They both fight not because they need to, but because they want to.
I fight because I love boxing. I'm passionate about what I'm doing.
I'm a boxer and that's my life.
Ball better. Yes, what you gonna do about that?
They've never let their circumstances define them.
You're never careless. Always thinking about setting up the next move.
Never let the odds detract.
Come on, turn it up. Let's go, go, go.
A kid from middle-class family in Long Island is not supposed to be able to fight. I'm not supposed to be a world champion.
He's hit a lot of heart, I know that, but he's taking a bigger step than he realizes, I feel.
Now, their ambitions in the ring on November 22nd will be undeniably simple. And their desire will be nothing short of insatiable.
I've seen myself on this stage for years. I'm going to step up and make something special happen.
Catch more on the Pacquiao Algieri fight next Saturday night at 11:45 with Under the Lights. Join host Max Kellerman along with boxer Tim Bradley and trainer Virgil Hunter in taking a detailed insider look at the matchup. Then, November 22nd on HBO Pay-Per-View from Macau, China, it's the live fight. Manny Pacquiao and Chris Algieri.